Peace, peace. Today is Father's Day, the 16th. How are you guys? I hope you know that you're having a great day, a great time. Alright, so I'm going to do one now and one this afternoon. Alright, I hope you guys are enjoying your family, your friends, your fathers, your brothers, your cousins, your family, just in general, and especially your fathers, and your Father, most importantly in heaven, God, your Creator, the universe, whatever you want to call him, Jesus, right? So, no, my choice today is going to be Kehlani. She's an American singer, born 1995. Kehlani Ashley Parrish, born April 24th, 1995, known mononymously, as Kehlani, is an American singer and songwriter. They are originally from Oakland, California, and achieved initial fame as a member of the teen pop group Pop Life in 2011. Kehlani's debut mixtape, Cloud 19, 2014, was listed as one of Complex's 50 best albums of 2014. Its follow-up, You Should Be Here 2015, entered the Billboard 200, received gold certification by the Recording Industry Association of America, RIAA, and was nominated for Best Urban Contemporary Album at the 50th Annual Grammy Awards. Kehlani signed with Atlantic Records to release their debut studio album, Sweet Sexy Savage 2017, which peaked at number 3 on the Billboard 200. While their second, it was good until it wasn't. 2020 peaked at number 2. Their third album, Blue Water Road 2022, peaked at number 13 on the chart and was met with critical acclaim. Early life, right? She's from Oakland, California. And was adopted and raised by her aunt when their mother was addicted to drugs and served time in jail. Kehlani's father, who also was a drug addict, died when she was just a toddler. During their teenage years, they attended the Oakland School for the Arts, where they initially practiced dance, particularly ballet and modern dance. Early in their life, Kehlani aspired to train as a dancer at the Juilliard School, but had a knee injury in junior high, which led to turn to attention towards singing. While living with her aunt, Kehlani was exposed almost exclusively to R&B and neo-soul artists such as Lauryn Hill, Erykah Badu, and Jill Scott, whom today they describe as some of their early musical influences. When they were 14, Kehlani was recruited to join a local pop cover band. So a little bit about Pop Life, Poplyfe, all right, from 2009 to 2013. Kehlani's singer career effectively began when they started out as a member and lead vocalist for the group called Pop Life. The band's music was produced by former Tony Tone member Dwayne Wiggins. Within 2 years, the group performed throughout the Bay Area and other cities. In 2011, they auditioned for the 6th season of America's Got Talent and eventually finished in 4th place. During their final appearance, Judge Piers Morgan told Kehlani, "You've got real talent, but I don't think you need the group." At the end of America's Got Talent, Kehlani left Pop Life. Because of several managerial and contractual disputes over 6 months, she avoided doing anything musical related, right? Because, legal situations, things like that. 2013, 2012, homeless, moving house to house, pillar to post, sleeping on couches. Her senior year, she moved to Los Angeles, California with no legal representation. In 2013, with Nat Cannon, the host of America's Got Talent, that Pop Life ran, and called on to be in a rap group. They agreed at first and went to Los Angeles, but ultimately the direction of the group moved back to Oakland, right? So, and I remember watching a interview where And Nick Cannon discussed a little bit of that and how a lot of artists, including himself and people, will get the attention or buy a vehicle or a house and they end up going home and figuring out like, how am I going to maintain this? How am I going to, like you go back home, you got to figure it out, right? But now you're well known, but you may not have the finances, right? Which is super interesting. So, to help with money and food, they decided to begin stealing iPhones to sell and items from the grocery store for a short time. Months later, Kalani released their first solo track on SoundCloud called Anti-Summer Love. Cannon called back after hearing the song. He bought them an apartment in LA along with studio time. That's amazing. So 2014, 2017, Sweet Sexy Savage. Was what culminated as well, I believe. And she had her first mixtape called Cloud 19 with guest appearances from Kyle Dion. Nick Cannon sent her to New York City to work with producer Jahan Sweet. The mixtape ranked at 28 on Complex list of 50 best albums of 2014 and was also listed among Pitchfork's Overlooked Mixtapes 2014. A song they released in late 2014, Till the Morning, was placed by Billboard as one of the emerging picks of the week on November 7th, 2014. Kalani in 2015 opened up for rapper G-Eazy on the second leg of his tour from the Universe tour. 28th of April, they released a second mixtape, You Should Be Here. And the Billboard called it the year's first great R&B album when it debuted at number 5 on the Billboard's top R&B hip-hop charts. The project features guest appearances from Chance the Rapper, BJ the Chicago Kid, and then weeks afterwards, she signed a deal to Atlantic Records, which is amazing, from the support of the mixtape You Should Be Here tour. She sold out all the dates, North America and Europe, receiving a whole bunch of notoriety. Am I saying that right? Notoriety. And I believe she was in Complex. 15 artists to watch out for 2015 Rolling Stone. 10 artists you need to know. So that Sweet Sexy Savage was released in 26 November of 2016, and then she was released January 27, 2017. So then by December of 2017, Kalani was on rapper Eminem's Nowhere Fast with his 9th album, Revival. Kalani's 3rd album, Tsunami Christmas Tour, concluded in Santa Ana, California on December 18, 2017. So all the while, every year she's doing something. It's trials and tribulations, peaks and valleys, right? But she's bouncing right back. So that's really interesting to know. You can go so high and then drop within a blink of an eye, or it can just be a slow, steady thing. That's just life, all right? So Kalani served as an open act on the American singer Demi Lovato. Wow. Tell Me You Love Me World Tour in 2018. It was good until it wasn't. Blue Water Road. That started in North America the 26th of 2018 and concluded in April the 2nd. They opened for Hazley's Hopeless Fountain Kingdom World on the Oceania Leg Tour 2018, March and April of 2018. And then she featured on another song for Charlie Puth's single Done For Me from his second studio album, Charlie Puth's single Done For Me, right? The album was called Voice Notes. And Cardi B's single Ring was released in 2018 of April, and her album was released called Invasion of Privacy. So that song peaked at number 28 on the Billboard Hot 100. So she's staying on the pop charts. She's staying relevant. She's putting in the work regardless of her personal, right? And so that just shows to tell you, like, she just kept grinding and keep going and connecting with people and working, right? So Kalani's first song to enter the top 40 of the chart And that happened. So February 22nd, the third commercial mixtape, While We Wait, was released with Atlantic Records as well, and debuted at 9. It sold 34,000 albums in the first week. It was supported by Nights Like This featuring Ty Dolla $ign, Nunya featuring Dom Kennedy, and Butterfly. September 22nd, 2019, Kehlani and Russian-German DJ Zedd, Z-E-D-D, released the collaborative song Good Thing. Kehlani and American singer Tiana Taylor then released the song Morning in November of that year. I think I remember that. That video is quite interesting, to say the least. Touche. On January 28th, 2020, Kehlani's guest featured on Canadian singer Justin Bieber's promotional single, Get Me, from the fifth album, Changes. They were also said to be supporting acts alongside American rapper-singer Jaden Smith for Bieber's Change Tour, which was pushed back due to COVID-19 pandemic. So, right, COVID shut down a lot of things. Not just the movies, not just the restaurants, just not just the entertainment. It was just like life was put on pause. And I remember, interesting enough, enjoying it for a while and then realizing that, no, this is real life. This isn't temporary, right? And just a short story. During that time, I will never forget, I'm missing one tooth, right? Not the whole thing, but just partial, because I grinded and clenched my teeth that night. But the point of that story is I'm supposed to wear a mouth guard at all times, and I got it cleaned. I'm supposed to be getting a crown on it, a gold crown, never forget. And that day, because I was working at Papa John's, I had a dental appointment to get that done, but I got called in to help a pregnant young lady at work because she needed my help, and because she was pregnant, I took it upon my heart to help, right? But ultimately, after that, the dentist shut down. Everything got shut down, so I never got to get this finished. It got clean, but I never got to get the procedure finished. So, yeah, that was 7-8 years ago. I've definitely had ample timing to do it. However, that was just a mere example of just handle your business and do what you got to do, because the world may shut down. So, yeah, that's something I definitely want to make sure I put in the forefront and get done here real quickly. God forbid we get another shutdown, right? So, but back to the point in hand. God is good. Thank you, Jesus, for this day of rest on this Sunday, right? And, you know, back to 2022, this tour that they were on called the Justice World Tour supported changes and successors like Bieber, which was his 6th album, right, from 2021. So, because he's been doing this since he was a kid. So, you know, great talents like him and MJ and Chris Brown and Keke Palmer and children that just have been in the game. Raven-Symoné is just like, these are people I look up to, right? And another story time I'll share real quick is, I remember when I was a kid, my mother told me that when we were in New York or walking around, people would stop and say, oh, she should model, she should act, she should sing. But it was just not I want to say, I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure, you know, some of my family, mostly maybe my father, was against it for whatever reason. And my mom told me that, you know, she turned them down. And I'll go back on here and talk about some other stories, but even in my young adult life and college life, I was offered small roles or opportunities, and I was too shy or not focused enough and missed those. And so I take it for a grain of salt and sand and know that you're going to attract certain things regardless. And so it's up to you to tap in. And when you're ready, you know, when the student's ready, the teacher shows up, and vice versa, right? And so God is good, because in some element or some form, I remember speaking of this a couple years ago, 5 or 8 years ago, and saying that, but, you know, I watch people do this every day in every form of fashion, from TV to radio to whatever, and this industry is not for the faint-hearted. And I believe that God is working from the inside out for me, and shaping my foundation to see if that's truly my desires of my heart, and if that's something that I'm willing or ready to even do. Right? So you guys pray for me. I pray for support. I pray for godly people. I pray for people that just will maneuver me in ways that will help me grow, not just as a person, but as a follower of Christ, and a person, a sister, and a woman, and to be a great student, but also be able to teach at the same time. Right? And so I'm so grateful today, and from just being reflective of all the things that I've been through. Right? Just listening to these dates and thinking about what were you doing that day or this time or what. Time does not wait for no one. And so just cherish today and let it be a gift to you and to your family, right? So, yeah, that was released. 83,000 albums. It's amazing. It was good until it wasn't. Billboard 200, and it included 25,000 copies of pure album sales. Wow. So then September 2020, Kalani recorded songs for the deluxe version of It Wasn't Good Until It Wasn't, and began working on the third studio album, Blue Water, till the 14th of 2021. Kalani revealed the teaser for it as well and announced that it would be released later. That album went to have a lead single called Alter, which was released September 15th. The second single, Little Story, was released February 24th, 2022. March 24th, Kalani took to Instagram to discuss the release on the 29th. And the following week, the singer released Up at Night featuring Bieber as well. Their third single from that album. Once on the road trip tour in the U.S. and from Europe from July to December, Rico Nasty and Destin Conrad were opening acts. Kalani was the headliner for the concert of the 2023 WNBA All-Star Game and the 2023 MLS All-Star Game, right? So she's just staying consistent. Jesus, I see you. You know what I'm saying? Just keeping your head down and staying relevant and working. And even if you're not getting all these big accolades, you're just doing the work. So consistency for sure. So, and then April 2024 of this year, released a single, After Hours, for this next album. She affirmed support for Palestine. I'm sure a lot of us have. We know what's going on with the whole Starbucks thing. I'm not going to talk about that and too much, because I have a lot to say, especially not just because of that and the support of my sister and Muslims, but also because of my own experiences that I've had with Starbucks, not just this year or the last year or the year before, but just in general. And it doesn't mean that everybody is like that as far as Starbucks, but it's just been a repeated offender in some ways, right? But it's all good and God bless you and Starbucks and everybody else. And so with this Music Next to You video, which premiered on the 31st of May, it began with a poem by Palestinian American writer Hala Alyan, Halalyan, and the demonstration chant, "Long live the Intifada," Intifada, an allusion to the 1987 uprising against Israel's presence in the West Bank and Gaza Strip, right? And so, I do want to sit on a platform and maybe give a little bit more of my opinion, but I post here or there just because I know in the United States, or just in general, that cliche when you talk about money, finances, of course, government, politics, and what is it? When we talk about money and religion, it can get gotten sticky, right? So I'm learning to stick my toe in the water, kind of see how it goes, because the culture I am sometimes super sensitive, and so the world is okay with doing the same. However, I just believe like it's just led us to where we can't even really speak our minds anymore, but we want to go and have rants about minute small things that doesn't weigh as heavy as political or real life death and life situationships, right? We We want to pick and choose what is important and what's not. We want to pick and choose what's a sin, what's not. We want to pick and choose what's right and wrong. We want to pick and choose who's hot and who's not. And so at the end of the day, you should just realize if you're of the world, you're of the world. And if you're of God, you're of God. And that you can be both. However, it can be a fine line and it can get quite interesting. And so, yeah, I totally get why people say choose a side and pick a side and stay there. Because if not, this duality thing that I've lived and that I'm in can be quite turbulent. So buckle your seatbelts. And yeah, we're on this ride together. If you're listening, I appreciate you. And if you're not, I appreciate you. And God bless you even more. To God be the glory. God bless you and your family. And I mean that from the honest bottom of my heart, sincerely. You know what I mean? Because I've been asking God to place things that aren't of Him out of my heart and goodness into my heart. Because I can't and I won't allow the enemy or anything extra in. You know? And so pray for me. I'll pray for you. Pray for yourselves. Pray for your fathers. Pray for your mothers and your family and these children. And pray for Palestine and Israel. And pray for people and for humanity. Because we all deserve water, food, and the basic necessities of life. And to be happy, even if it's for a small moment. And, you know, yeah, food, essential things like water, and I'm able to use the restroom and to shower are all of the small amenities that aren't understood or appreciated until you don't have those. And so appreciate them while you have them, so God will continue to bless you and give you more in abundance. And so now that I'm off my soapbox, in the music video, she just vocalized personally penned music dedicated to the children in Palestine who perished in the Gaza-Israel conflict. Personal life, a little bit of that. 2016, it was confirmed that she was in a relationship with the star NBA, Kyrie Irving. I don't know how true that is or isn't. I don't want to too much get into those things because you just never know unless I see them kissing and they confirm. It's like, yeah, cool. Congratulations, you know. And not that I'm saying that in a disrespectful way, but it's like they already have enough tension. So it's like I don't feed into that. Like let people live and breathe and be happy and be merry. So cheers to that and whatever and whomever you choose to love, right? Not just for Kehlani, but for me and for you and the listeners, right? And just be safe and be a good person is all, as best as you can be. So Canadian singer Party Next Door posted a picture of Kehlani's hand on Instagram and insinuating that they're in bed together. And I'm not going to talk about that. And I'm not going to talk about that. Because now they're talking about her dating life. She has a baby. And she has a baby. And she's vegan. Her daughter. And herself. And they have a small farm in Semi Valley, California. Where they live. Yeah, she's practicing. I don't know how true this is because I've never heard her actually speak of this or in general, but I'll say this, that she quote unquote is into African diasporic religion, La Regra de Ocho, Ocha. All right, so she signed an open letter calling for a ceasefire to end Israel's blockade of the Gaza Strip, which is amazing. A lot of people discuss her sexuality, if she's binary, queer, straight, gay. Who cares? Let her be her and live life and be happy and merry, right? So, you know, these titles are interesting. These titles are cool. However, I never know how true these notes can be unless you do dire research or actually speak to the people. And so you may see people say, oh, they're she or he or they. but it could be fake news, or that's just how they felt then and they may not feel like that now, right? So I'm just very mindful of that, but I know she in some way or form is a part of the LGBTQIA community. um, so yeah, cheers to you for being a hard worker and for coming and being delivered from a lot. You know what I mean? To just be able to read this and just, see about your inspiration for tattoos and how you made such an impact on Instagram and how social media can do that for you, right? So just to wrap it up, in the business ventures, entrepreneurship, and activism in tandem with the release of Next to You in 2024, they created merch for Palestine's collective creative director and founder Yasmin Mijali. Excuse me if I did misspelled or mispronounced your name, but it is YASMEENMJALLI, and all the proceeds went to aiding Palestine, Congolese, and Sudanese families in collaboration with Operation Olive Branch. And so, yeah, man, that's so cool. You're so cool. This is cool. I'm cool. And God is cool. I'm out. I love y'all. And there's nothing you can do about it. Peace.